Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network, and joining me in this conversation is a legal practitioner. I'm talking about Kwe Barino. It's good to have you in the studio this afternoon, Barrister.
Thank you very much.
Oh, wow, you look amazing. It's been a long time.
Yes, it's been a while, yeah.
All right,
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you for joining me. All right, let's have a look at the first story for today on bad governance in Nigerian protests. Amnesty International Nigerian reported that over 2,000 protesters were arrested during the 10-day bad governance in Nigerian protests against anger and misgovernance. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana, chair of Alliance on Surviving COVID-19 and Beyond, gave the Inspector General of Police, Dr. Kayode Egbetokun, 72 hours to charge the detained protesters of face legal action. Falana condemned the police for denying the suspect legal representation, calling it illegal and unconstitutional. He highlighted that out of 2,111 arrested, 1,403 were arraigned without proper legal support. Despite the Nigerian Bar Association's offer to assist, he criticized the police discriminatory treatments, contrasting it with the linemen's landing of politically exposed person accused of looting. Falana warned that if the protesters were not charged by August 25, 2024, ASCAB will seek their immediate release in court. He emphasized the need for socio-economic justice to address the root cause of the protests, urging protest politics to combat hunger, ignorance, disease, and inequality in Nigeria. All right, Barrister Kowe, I'm actually particularly excited that you are a legal practitioner, and this story has a lot to do with that. You know, since 2020, that was 2020 during the NSAS protest.
NSAS.
Yes, exactly. So it was reported that so many Nigerians are behind the bars, and nothing has been done about that still up till this moment. And then we also have it in a report that about 2,000 Nigerians are also in the police custody, and nothing has been done about that up till this moment. And then Falana has given them a 72 hours ultimatum that if nothing has been done, they will do everything they can to make sure that they get out of there. Why do you think they keep these people this long? Is this a proper thing to do, for the police to do?
No, it's not the proper thing to do, to keep suspects, perpetually detained without giving them access to legal representation. Why is the right of the police to actually arrest and detain whoever they suspect of committing any crime? The protests, of course, we read in the news, the protests were actually riddled with, some activities too that would definitely, that are poised to actually disrupt public peace. And also things like breaking in and stealing, arson, and all of that were also associated with, some of these protests, like what happened in Kano or Kaduna, where they actually vandalized the ICT center and all of that. So there is no gainsaying that those persons arrested might be actual suspects in some of those instances. However, it's not justifiable, to actually hold them down perpetually without, taking them to court. The standard time, for which a suspect, an arrested suspect, should be charged to court or released on administrative bail is 24 hours, except for where the court, is actually a bit far away from the place of detention. That's when it's extended to 48 hours. But beyond that, no suspect is supposed to be detained at the police station unreasonably beyond this time. So my learned senior, Falana SAN is actually within the ambit of the law to seek redress for these persons that are being detained without being charged to court. And of course, the suspects actually have the right to legal representation. We respect the police right to, to effect arrest and then detain suspects, but also police ought to respect the rights of the detainees to access legal representation and to be released on administrative bail if they don't have what it takes to, charge them to court.
I'd like to know, yes, you have talked about a period of time that a suspect should be detained. So for those people that are fond of detaining suspects within above 24 hours, are there consequences, or, do they just let them go like that?
There are consequences. These are something that borders on the fundamental human right. Once, let's say, a suspect is detained beyond the stipulated time, the suspect, through his lawyer, can actually apply to the court, and then, asking for the court will mandate the police, to produce the suspect and then hear whatever the police has against the suspect. And if it is something that is not heavy enough, the court will then grant bail to the suspect. So the suspect has a right to, apply to the court to be released if the police is holding him or her beyond is stipulated time by law. And also where it is unreasonably, where the person has been unreasonably detained, and incurs some damages, the person can also apply to asking for damages in that process.
All right. Right now, there are over 2,000 suspects from end-bad governance in Nigerian protests. There's this 2024 that happened this August, and there are also over 1,000 from the end SARS, that's 2020. And then all of these people, they have stayed beyond. Some of them have stayed up to, of course, 4 years. We saw in a report where about 6 of them were released from the end SARS protests. About 6 were actually granted bail. I want to ask, what is the way forward? What are they planning to do as it stands now? Because we have a lot of them that are behind there, even when they are suspects, and they have stayed above 24 hours. Yes, the barrister Falana has given 72 hours ultimatum to the police. That is Kaya we're talking about. So far, he has not said anything yet. To be beyond this, what is the way forward? What are they planning to do?
Okay, I think if you're asking what Falana is planning to do, Falana SAN is planning to do, I think he actually clearly spelled it out. He's likely going to approach the court, and I think among his prayers, he's going to pray for the court to grant the suspect bail. And also, he might also include an application or a prayer for damages, for the suspects.
Okay. All right, thank you so much. And then let's look at the next story from Abia State. British High Commissioner Dr. Richard Montgomery visited Abia State from August 20 to 21 to explore economic partnerships with the state government. During his visit, he met with Governor Alex Otti, attended a digital skills graduation ceremony funded by the UK, and toured various local businesses and projects. Montgomery emphasized the UK's commitment to boosting Abia's economic growth and sought to strengthen ties and explore collaboration opportunities. Mark Sisson, UK's country director for the Department for Business and Trade, expressed eagerness to support trade and partnerships in the state. Wow. Should I say a round of applause for them? Yes, this is a big one for Abia State and also the Abia State governor for these particular initiatives. Yes, looking at the situation, even in the midst of the insecurity that is going on in the East, and the UK that are ready to partner with the Abia State government in business in order to foster, of course, a green economy. What do you think that other governors from the East should do to be able to attract this kind of partnership as well? Though I said it is a big one for Abia State. So what do you think they should do to be able to attract this?
Okay, in answering that question, the simple thing is to ask what would it do? What it would do to attract it? You know, there are actual opportunities out there, and that's why sometimes the young people are actually very upset with some public office holders, because every public office you hold is actually has potential, you know, to drive home development in the, you know, the people you actually preside over. And most times, you know, these partnerships and opportunities are actually, you know, these people feel more comfortable dealing with, you know, official organizations or official entities. And so when you hold a position, you actually hold a place of trust, and you're supposed to manage it in such a way that would attract and then qualify, you know, your area, you know, your, let's say if it's a state, if you're a governor, your state, or if you are you are a representative, your constituency and all of that, to benefit from these things. You can use the office to actually attract these programs. They are all out there, and they are all waiting for partnerships to come into Africa. You know, most of these investors and programs are targeted at Africa because they see Africa as a third world country that needs help. But they can't come in, they don't trust the system. So once you create that system of trust, you see these people coming in. And that's what Alex Oti has been doing in Abia State. He has created trust, he has built trust. And looking from the outside, you know, I've not been to Abia for a while, but from what we are reading in the news, if you want to bring something to Abia now, you have that trust to go and do it there, because so far people have been saying good things about this man and what he has been doing. So Alex Oti has actually built that trust. So whoever wants to attract whatever he's attracting to his state should be able to toe this line to build that public trust that will, you know, attract these investors and also programs that could be to the benefit of the state.
All right, we all know that, like I said, the level of insecurity is actually hitting on Nigerians, and we can attest that some of those top business men actually move away from it to settle somewhere else because of the insecurity. And then looking at, like I said, in the midst of this, and these people are coming in, remember that Abia State is still Nigeria, irrespective of whatever thing that we are saying, because you cannot just, you can't move from, let's say from UK, you just land in Abia State. You would definitely have to pass one state to the other in order to get here. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I know you asked a question that we really need to know what the governor did differently. But now, what do you think, like I said, what do you think they can equally do to be able to gain this kind of partnership too? Because, of course, you are aware that a lot of multinational companies have actually left Nigeria because of insecurity. In particular, aside the fuel subsidy removal that has actually affected a lot of persons, you can attest that insecurity is one of the things that everyone is putting hand on decks to fight. So what do you think that they actually did differently, and what can they do to also leverage on this?
Okay, you know, when you talk about insecurity, I think you are kind of giving it a sweeping definition. A sweeping definition in the sense that you are saying if Bruno is not safe, then it should be interpreted to mean that Abia State is not safe. And it should be interpreted to mean that Lagos State is not safe because it's Nigeria, because it's within a map. What if Nigeria was divided? What if the North was a single sovereign entity? The Southeast was a separate. That analogy, doesn't really follow with due respect. I think what investors look at most times is, specifically the location where they'll be basing their businesses, and also, the paths they will be traveling through. Of course, these people use flights. Abuja for now, I think, apart from, was it a year or two ago where we had a news of bandits encroaching on Abuja. So far, that issue has been addressed. So if they land in Abuja or Lagos, they're definitely going to take flight that will land them in Umuahia. Understand? And so far, in other states, there's no, apart from the sit at home and even the issue of unknown gunmen, I think the issue has sort of also subsided a bit, and also, I think when it comes to issue of insecurity, there are a lot of states that are also not having key security issues. There are no, like for instance, my state in the past, we have issues of cultism, we have issues of militancy. That's a Port Harcourt River State where we are currently talking from. We had these issues, but at the moment, these issues are not prevailing. There was also a time robbery was prevailing, but now these issues are not prevailing. You understand? So if anything is going on in Brunei, don't say that investors shouldn't come to River State. So the whole thing there is, if these governors give trust, if they are able to give trust, they would attract these persons. As far as there is peace, what they have to do first is to ensure that there is peace in their state, and once there is peace in their state, as chief security officers of their various states, once there is peace, and then they build that trust that whatever is put into their hands, for the benefit of the people, will be for the benefit of the people.
All right, thank you so much. And then the next one is from Taraba State. A 50-year-old woman, Nemis, whose man was killed in a hit-and-run accident in Jalingo, Taraba State, while participating in the Operation Keep Taraba Clean initiative. The incident occurred on Yola Road near Mile 6, whose man died before reaching the hospital and her body was being moved to the morgues. Police were investigating to identify the driver, with officials confirming ongoing efforts to track down the perpetrator. This tragedy follows another recent incident in Taraba State where 4 women drowned in a boat mishap in Arodo Kola, LGA. All right, Barrister Kowe, my issue here is not the fact that we know that they're talking about unemployment in Nigeria. I remember when I discussed this story with someone yesterday, he said that irrespective of the hazardous nature of the job, that the government can afford to take it out from the people because it will render them, it would rather kill them, taking them off the road and not giving them something to do, would rather kill them. But that was just the argument. But my concern is, now looking at the nature of this job, and if you have applied road at the early hour in the morning, you will realize that the people doing most of this job are women, young ladies. And because it's an expressway, they can't afford to go there around 6 p.m. to go and clean the road. So it's something they have to go there before 3, 4, 5 to be able at least to do 1 or 2. And then when I check in Akwa Ibom State, I realize that where people actually do this job is mostly the link roads, not actually the major road. And they have supervisors and also security personnel with them. But you can attest that most of these people do not have supervisor. You will just see a woman, one woman in a very distant place working alone, which anything can happen. And then we know that in some of these countries are using machine because this is a technology regime. Do you understand? Why has the federal government not employed this kind of technology to be able to do this job that is so risky for the people, if really safety of Nigerians is one of their priority?
Okay, thank you very much. Why I buy into the idea of using technology Of course, the technology also. I don't know if there's any available technology in Nigeria. This is not something that has to do with the federal government, particularly, except you are talking about the ST. To the best of my knowledge, the people who employ people who sweep the roads and the streets and are actually state governments and sometimes the local government. This incident that actually reminds me when Amici, Right Honorable Chubuike Amici was the governor of Rivers State. There was a time he came on radio. I think there were incidents of drivers. I don't know if anyone actually died in the process, but I think there was a rising case of those people being attacked, and Amechi had to come on air to say that those people represent me. So anyone who touches a strand of hair on their head touches me. They should be seen as the governor. These people are making very huge sacrifices. Sometimes when you go out very early with all the risks associated, particularly with their gender, to women, you see them alone on these roads, sweeping and all of that. Let's leave the government aside. Let's keep the government aside. As individuals, we ought to respect these people. Despite whatever they are in, we ought to actually respect them because of the sacrifice they are doing, and all of that. Hitting someone like that, it actually hurts. It hurts that someone had the mind to hit someone like that and then run away. We understand the job is risky, but someone has to do the job. And these people have to get paid. You understand? These people have to get, if you are talking about machine, who are those that operate the machine? It means that these other people too, they'll be out of jobs. And it's something that actually rings something in my heart, because I think at a point, even my mom did that kind of job, at the time and all of that. I'm not really from a silver spoon kind of background at all. So it actually hurts me. It's something that I think the government should actually put in effort, the police should put in effort to apprehend and run driver, and he should be made to face the full wrath of the law. Talking about machine, if you're talking about machine, are you talking about vacuum cleaner? If you're talking about vacuum cleaner, it will still be used by a human. It will still need a human presence, just like what is being done with the broom. I agree with them buying the machine, but it will still require a human presence. And also, I'm also concerned about if there is an independent machine that can be used for that purpose, the effect, the impact it will have on the job of some of these persons. Because some of these people are actually poor single mothers, struggling to, support their children one way or the other, bring food to the table and all, and then you want to take all of that from their mouth of, with machines, replacing them with machines and all of that. I think that is a bit sort of concerning for me. Particularly, my sentiment is actually influenced by where I am coming from.
Okay, there we go again. There we go again. I think you're actually towing that part that I talked about when I started the story. Now, talking about taking food away from people. Having government knows that the nature of this job is so risky for the people, especially for the women, because it's mostly, what we hear mostly is hit and run, hit and run, hit and run. Some survive and some do not survive, even with their gadgets. Is it not possible for the government? Yes, because of course we are also trying to manage the economy in Nigeria. Is it not possible for the government to also say, if it is 200 persons that are doing this job and they are being paid 30,000 in a month, in 1 year they're going to sum the money and pay them, go and look for business to do to be able to take care of your children. Of course, we know that that's the means of livelihood for a lot of persons. Is it not possible to do that? Why get a machine for 2 to 3 persons to operate? Because if you check outside countries, you will see, yes, Nigeria, we are developing countries, but they are developed countries. How come we don't go there, look at how these things are done, and bring it over here? Because, of course, you know that Nigerians are also shouting, clamoring over the issue of the president getting a huge millions of private jets. If you put all of this together, is it not enough for the state governments, for the federal government to actually look into this, especially for the safety of the people?
All right, I quite agree with you, concerning maybe paying them off and then, setting them up. If the government will do that, then that's fine. I think it takes care of that particular concern of employment. And of course, I'm a technology person. I'm into technology law and all of that. So I support anything technology, and all of that. But also, even using current structure that is in place, I feel, just like if women are usually seen on lonely paths, if you are driving in the early hours of the morning, you see them all alone on the road, all by themselves and all of that. So I feel the government can also attach security. Then we have all these task forces that are employed to, harass drivers in the daytime, harass street traders and all of that. Some of these persons can be attached to these people that shoot early in the morning to provide security for them while they do their job. Let's say for every 5 or within a stretch of the road, you place them there so that they can provide security. That's if you can't provide actual police, official security. You can use a vigilante style of security to actually provide that for them. So I'm not against technology as far as alternative jobs or alternative empowerment is provided for these people.
All right, I know there is a saying that what a man can do, a woman can do better, and there are some kind of hazardous jobs that women are not actually allowed to do, despite the fact that whatever thing a man can do, a woman can do better. But Barrister, I want to understand, is it possible in this kind of, especially this road sweeping, is it possible to also check the age of the people actually doing this job? Because we have seen 60 years on the road, and most times, and you know that it's almost like these people are not being well taken care of. Yes, we know that they have gadgets there. So is it possible to also look at the age bracket before they employ them to do this particular work?
I think, like from my little idea of the process, I think most times those jobs are actually targeted at people within that class. They don't offer it to young, able-bodied people. They don't offer it. They offer it to those people like a kind of, we like call it retirement plan and all of that. Because it's a simple job. Let's leave the fact that it's hazardous. Let's leave the aspect of location and all of that. It's actually a simple job. You just sweep and then you throw it away. It's not heavy. It's not, maybe it doesn't come with any serious hazard. Apart from the dust that can be prevented with face masks and all of that. It doesn't come with hazard and simple. If we are advocating for anything, I think those mothers, they actually want to do, some of them really want to do that job. Some of them are likely retirees who don't want to sit at home, they want something doing. And some of them too are people that don't even have anything in their memory. But jobs are actually targeted at a particular class of people. Usually, if you see them, just like you observe rightly, most of the governments don't offer it to able-bodied people. If they see that you are open, you are strong, and all of that, and can take up other form of employment, they don't give it to you. They give it to these people that they feel are sort of vulnerable, so that they can just sweep the morning and then go back to their homes. What we should be advocating for, on the other hand, is for the compensation to be enough to take care of them well, just like you observe that they are not well taken care of. The compensation should be enough to take good care of them.
All right, thank you so much. And then the last story for today, President Bola Tinubu condemned the tragic death of Issa Bawa, the district head of Gatawa in Sokoto State, describing the attack as deeply disturbing. He extended condolence to the bereaved family, the Gobia Emirate, and the Sokoto state government and prayed for the late ruler's soul. Tinubu assured Nigerians that his administration would decisively address security threats and counter acts of terror. Similarly, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, condemned the adoption and murder of the Halaji Isa Mohammed Bawa, the Sakin Gober of Gotawa district in Sokoto state, describing the act as barbaric and inhumane. Abbas expressed his condolence to the late leader's family and the Sabon Birning local government and the Sokoto state government. He criticized the increasing kidnaps from ransom in Nigeria as totally unacceptable and prayed for divine mercy on Bawa's soul. Bawa was adopted and killed by terrorists who demanded a ransom of 660 million and 5 motorcycles for the release of his body. Despite a distressing video plead for Bawa, he was not rescued in time. His burial was conducted without his body. Following Islamic guidelines, Bawa and his son were originally kidnapped in July, and the captors initially demanded 1 billion naira for their release. All right, once again, may the soul of Isa Bawa rest in peace. But my concern is not just the fact that the president has said something, but barrister, don't you think that this is medicine after death? Because when this man was pleading for help, we didn't see any leader that come out to say, oh, this is what is going on. Yes, Nigerians should do this, or we are looking into it. Okay, we are sending security personnel. Nothing of such happened. But after the man died, after he has been murdered, and of course he has been buried without his body because they demanded for about 5 motorcycles, even as he's dead, he's gone. The adopters were still asking for ransom and also motorcycles in order to release his body. The needful has been done. But I think that what the president is doing now is medicine after death. Why coming to say they will face the consequences, they will not go unpunished after after the man has gone? Why? Well, there are so many questions to really ask about this. You know, we are living in a country where, like I said, this issue of insecurity is alarming. It is alarming, and unfortunately, a lot of persons have gone in for this. And we know that, well, I'm just asking, could it be that these bandits, the Boko Haram, all these people, the kidnappers, could it be that they are more and so powerful than the federal government? Could it be that they have more measures in carrying out their criminal acts than what the federal government have? Could it be that the federal government, they are stuck, like they don't know what to do concerning insecurity? Because every day they keep on promising us, yes, all right, thank God you are there. I want to know that something, Barrister Kuwe, is this not messing after death? And again, could it be that the tactics that the bandits are, the kidnappers are using is more clear to them than the federal government? Like they are lost. Is it that the federal government, they are lost? They don't know what to do about insecurity. And these people are more powerful than them. What exactly is going on in Nigeria?
The murder of the traditional incident. When attack is mostly unprotected, it's actually situation in Nigeria. This issue has been on for a very long time. From Boko Haram and all of that, and insecurity issues is something that you can always handle. It's something that the government simply means that there's no longer need for the government, because the government organization for what is in the country, and it actually gives concern that issues like this persist, where someone with that with video and then subsequently carry out their threats. It's actually a very sad situation, and I don't think it's messing after death to work. But if the culprits are arrested, people will get to know that even if you don't, you can't go into it. It's not it's not messing after death, because if they are dealt with it, send a message first for it to mean that they will no longer be available to do it to someone else, because this is likely their lifestyle, and after this after this traditional plan, they might go after someone else. So be care of that. And also to send people doing the same thing, so not messing after them, to be proactive. There's no excuse can be made for the government on this particular issue, because it's on the oath they've taken to protect lives and properties, and it ought to be proactive.
All right. Well, I understand. I understand exactly what you are talking about. Yes, we do not have enough time again. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me on today's show. All right, that is the most we can take on today's show. Thank you so much. I am Immaculate Erican, and you can join us on all our media platforms, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. Remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thanks for joining us, and good afternoon.